I have a problem, an arc problem. I have 5 physical arcs that I need to read within the next 6 weeks or so, as well as 2 digital arcs. So I thought, why not do a 24-hour reading challenge, but just for arcs? I'm not gonna be reading for 24 hours straight because I don't know if I could do that. What I am going to do is use my trusty 10-year-old iPad to time myself to see how many books I can read in 24 hours. These arcs are not small either. They're all pretty long. I would say they probably average around 450 pages. I did do some calculations. I read approximately 1 page per minute. So 450 minutes per book, that's around 7.5 hours per book. So I think I will be able to read around 3.5 books for this challenge. We'll see though. Now, what books am I going to be reading for this challenge? First, we have The Trident and the Pearl by Sarah K.L. Wilson. This is a fantasy published by Orbit, and it comes out February 24th, I believe. It's about a queen who makes a deal with the gods to stop a storm that's ravaging her island, and it has also killed her husband. Her end of the bargain is to marry the first man that steps foot on her shores, which is this mysterious fisherman, a desperate queen, a poor fisherman, an arranged marriage, and a plot against the gods that will pull them both under. Also, this cover is beautiful. Then we have Weaving Shaw by Hiba al-Wasiti. I apologize if I butchered that name. You are the promise of Weaving Shaw, a crumbling estate tainted by blood, a girl haunted by ghosts, a seller of secrets, handsome and doomed, a dark romantic tale begins. This is published by Del Rey, and it comes out, I believe it also comes out February 24th. And it seems to me like it's gonna be dark academia, mysterious, intriguing type of vibes. I'm looking forward to reading this one. Then we have quite possibly one of my most anticipated arcs of this stack, and that is Inamorata by Ava Reed. Ava Reed is like an auto read author for me. This just seems like it's gonna be super gothic, immersive. Love, which was more dangerous than the sharpest blade and sweeter than the last fig on a branch. Let me taste it, she thought. Let me cut myself on it. A visionary and atmospheric gothic fantasy about necromancy, vengeance, and soul-consuming love from the #1 New York Times bestselling author of A Study in Drowning. A Study of Drowning is one of my favorite books ever, so I'm hoping I will enjoy this one, and maybe it'll have the same type of vibes as just like kind of eerie, eldritch vibes. And this comes out March 17th, and is also published by Del Rey. And then we have, this is probably my second most anticipated arc of this stack, This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. This is like a husband and wife duo writing under this name, which is fun. She'll rewrite their story no matter how many times it takes to kill her. So my understanding is that this girl gets transported into the fantasy world of like her favorite series, but she cannot die. She keeps going back to life. And this comes out, oh, I don't know when this comes out. March something. I'll add in when it comes out right here. I'm hoping to get to this one. I'm thinking I may only be able to read the first 3 in the 24 hours, but I'm really hoping to get to this one. Regardless, I'm gonna read it because I'm excited for it. Oh gosh, the font is so tiny. And this is published by Tor. Lastly, we have Stay for a Spell by Amy Combe. An overworked princess is cursed to remain in a bookshop until she discovers what her heart truly longs for in this romantic, cozy fantasy debut. I cannot believe I actually got an arc from Berkeley, Ace Publishing. So thank you. This comes out April 14th. It just looks cozy and cute. What can I say? So this is my stack of books. Let's get reading. So, reading update for the Trident and the Pearl. I am, hold on a minute, this is a bit of an awkward angle. I am almost 90 pages into this book. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm gonna give my full review at the end when I'm done with the entire book. But for now, I'll give my just quick thoughts. I'm really enjoying it. There's some mythology stuff, like if you were a Percy Jackson girly, you were probably gonna like this one. And for the time, 1 hour, 44 minutes and 23 seconds into this reading challenge, which is good pace. So my goals for today, for day 2, are to get halfway through this book. So around like 220 pages into this book. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. And I think I can do maybe like 2 more hours today. My goal is to do 3 hours every day. So then I'll be done by next week. Yeah, and then that'll be the 24-hour reading challenge. So I'll check in a little bit. Okay, hello. Reading update time for the Trident and the Pearl. I have just under 100 pages left of this book. I'm like 6, almost 7 hours into the 24-hour reading challenge. I will check in again when it's time to give my full review of this book. I've been taking notes, so I'm excited to share my final thoughts, and I'm excited to see how this ends so I can more thoroughly write a more comprehensive review. Okay, I finished the first book of my 24-hour ARC reading challenge, and that was The Trident and the Pearl by Sarah K.L. Wilson. This book took me 8 hours and 28 minutes to read, which is about an hour more than I thought it would take me. I'm going to read you my review for The Trident and the Pearl that I posted on Goodreads and Storygraph. You can follow me by clicking the link down below. And while I have you here, make sure to subscribe if you're not already, because I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year, so make sure to subscribe. Okay, my review. I sent the screenshot to my iPad because I don't want to download Goodreads on here and log in. I don't know my login. Anyway, I gave this 4 stars. It would probably be more like a 3.75 to 4 stars, but 4 stars. Hi, Molly. You can help me read the review? You can help me? Okay. So firstly, thank you so much to the publisher for sending me an ARC of this book. All thoughts are my own. Molly's gonna help read the review. So this book progressively got better the more I read. I think it's one of those books where you sort of have to trust the process. Like, it was a bit all over the place in the middle of the book, but you have to trust the process. As the book neared its end, it started to come together in an exciting, intriguing way. If you were a lover of Percy Jackson as a kid, then I think you're gonna like this book. I really enjoyed the mythology that this author had created. I do think the world building could have been explained a little bit better, but this is book 1 of a hopefully longer series. I know for sure there will be another book after this one. And so the tasks and tales and mythology was one of my favorite aspects of this book. Some aspects were predictable, but were revealed quickly enough that it wasn't annoying and drawn out. I do think some reveals could have benefited from a more fleshed out world building and magic system. Some of the reveals didn't hold much weight because things weren't properly explained beforehand, and I feel like some of the reveals were just like revealed and there was no fanfare. I was like, wait a minute, that was kind of a big thing that just happened. Another gripe I have is that we are immediately thrust into the action of this story, and while I usually like that, in this case the emotional impact was lessened because we're immediately thrust into this world. Like, we don't know who this girl is, the main character Coralys. We don't know who she is. We don't know about her people or her husband. So while I usually prefer that, I think this book could have benefited from a more fleshed out intro. The main premise is that Coralys has lost her people, her husband, and her cities to a storm. I think I explained that a little bit earlier. The emotional impact is lost because we don't actually get to know any of the aforementioned important aspects of her life beforehand. However, the emotional connection is still there, and I think it gets stronger as the story progresses and as we get to know Coralys and Oake. As I mentioned previously, this book gives major first book vibes of a longer series where not much makes sense, but I have a feeling the subsequent books will be way better because this one is a foundation for a much larger story and conflict. The ending was very exciting, and I'm looking forward to where this series is going to go. I definitely think the subsequent books will thrive. Special shout out to Marcanos. He definitely became my favorite side character. I'm hoping for more Marcanos in book 2. I was sensing some chemistry between her and this side character. So overall, a solid first read for this ARC challenge. This comes out February 24th. If you like mythology, if you like ocean themed stories, ocean settings, meddling gods, then I think you will like this book. If you hear noises in the background, that's my dog being crazy. And then next up we have Weaving Shaw. I'm excited to get to this one. So back to reading. Hello, I'm checking in with an update. You remember when I said I had hoped to get this 24-hour reading challenge done in like a week?
My goal is to do 3 hours every day, so then I'll be done by next week.
And then that'll be the 24-hour reading challenge.
That was 3 weeks ago.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I'm still working through Weaving Shaw. I think I might be able to finish it today or tomorrow, honestly. I'm on page 266 of like 450 or something. I am 15 hours through the 24-hour reading challenge.
I'll be done by next week.
Obviously, I did not intend to be doing this challenge for 3+ weeks, and 2 of the books I had planned to read for this ARC reading challenge have released already. They came out on the 24th, which was, as of now, 3 days ago. But I've had some things going on in my life, so I haven't been reading that much, and then I got sick. I'm actually currently sick, doing a lot better right now. Unfortunately, I was supposed to attend Romanticycon in LA tomorrow, but I'm unable to do that. To make up for all of that, I kind of just want to finish reading this book. I'm really liking it. I'll give my full review at the end. And then I'm hoping to start Inamorata by Ava Reid. Currently using it as a tripod for my phone along with a tissue box, so I'm not going to show the book to you, but it's there. I'm looking at it right now. That's hopefully what I'll start next. Will I finish it? We'll see. Anyway, that's my update. I will get back to you when I finish Weaving Shaw. I have finished Weaving Shaw by Hiba Awasiti. Again, apologies if I'm totally getting the pronunciation of your name wrong. I did not craft a fully detailed review because I have not been feeling well, but I will say I highly recommend this book, and I can't stop thinking about it. I finished it the other night, and I can't stop thinking about it, which is always a good sign. I remember in my last update, I said I was going to try to finish this that day or the next day. It ended up taking me like a few days after that because I was not feeling well. I also said I was feeling better in that video, but then I got like way sicker the next couple of days, so it was hard for me to read this and comprehend, what was going on. But I finished it, I loved it, and now I'm going to tell you about it. I did not craft a review like I said, but I did make notes. Overall, I think there are a lot of important themes in this book, and I think that you should read it. And it was such a unique gothic fantasy, especially with the themes of like what it's like to be an immigrant in sort of like an anglicized country. Obviously it's fictional, but fiction is inspired by our lives. So this is from an editor's letter at the beginning of the book. I think that only comes in the ARCs. It says that the author, as a junior doctor, has worked in emergency care and several psychiatric inpatient units, allowing her to gain firsthand insight into the ways that poverty and deprivation can lead to social inequalities. All of this informs and deepens the novel. So that is something that is present in this book, which I really liked. All the complex themes that were all woven together to create this beautiful book. The writing was beautiful. For a debut, I was blown away by the writing. The ending was wow. Like, I need the next book right now. Everything was fleshed out, revealed, and paced fantastically, and the author expertly sets up the next book. At first, I thought it was a bit too slow, but once I was halfway through, I realized it was all perfectly paced, and we have been given the right amount of information at the right times to understand what is happening and to theorize about what might happen. Sometimes with debut authors, I kind of think maybe they border the line of being too pretentious with their writing, but this one, not at all. This almost read like a modern classic. It was just so beautiful. I can't recommend this book enough. Honestly, this might be my favorites of the books I'm reading for this challenge. The many books I've read for this challenge. But you know what? That's fine. If I'm only able to read 2 books for a 24-hour reading challenge, that's okay. Because I did choose books that were very long and also that were all kind of complex. So I had to kind of take my time reading them. So now it's on to Inamorata by Ava Reid. I just filmed like 3 minutes talking about this book and the challenge, and then realized that I hadn't even pressed record. I was apologizing for the weird angle and the lack of footage towards the end of this challenge because, like I explained earlier, I was sick and some things are going on, and now I'm not at home, and so I don't have my usual setup to film things. But as you can see from the timer here, I have less than 4 hours left of the challenge, and I just finished the first chapter of Inamorata. What an opener. Wow, that was something. I would say if you're not into body horror, if you're sensitive to that stuff, be cautious when reading this book. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. I was gonna say the weather today is actually perfect for this book because it's like kind of gloomy out and like overcast. Anyway, there's over
500 pages in this book. I have under 4 hours of the challenge left, which is, I calculated it last night, 60, 120, 180, 240, 240 minutes, just under 240 minutes. So I'm expecting to get maybe like 200 pages read out of this book. Yeah, I apologize for the lack of quality in the end of this video and the lack of footage, but I'm gonna power through. I'm gonna finish this challenge. I don't think I'm gonna do a lot of videos showing the timer because it's just I don't have my tripod, I don't have my setup, and it's like hard to find a good setup where I'm at. But I will check in periodically with like updates on the time, and then I'll probably try to film the timer as it counts down to 24 hours so you can see the end of the challenge and we can say we saw this thing through. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this book. Next time I check in, I'll probably check in with little quick clips of the time and then a review for Inamorata.
I finally finished the 24-hour reading challenge. It only took me almost a month.
I'll be done by next week.
Please hold your applause. I did not read 240 pages of Inamorata like I thought I would. I only read about 150 pages, which I think is pretty okay for 4 hours. I should have done laps for the timer. You can do like... I should have done that to see just how long it took me to read each book. So what did I learn doing this challenge? I think it takes me longer to read books written in third person than it does first person, because the first book I read, The Trident and the Pearl, that was first person present tense, and I read that book in like 8 hours, which I think is pretty average for me on most books that aren't like super complex, because these were all fantasy books that were kind of long. Weaving Shaw was third person past tense, and I did have to spend more time reading that one to make sure I was comprehending everything. Same with Inamorata, and I will talk about Inamorata in a second. I think I also learned that I'm a slow reader, even though I thought I was a fast reader. I think with some books I'm a fast reader, but with these books, with complex fantasy novels, I am a slow reader because I want to make sure that I'm comprehending everything I'm reading. So I'm a slower reader than I thought, and that's okay. If I only read 2 books a month like I did in February, that's okay. Now onto Inamorata, my really quick review, my thoughts so far, 150 pages into this beast of a book. I don't have it with me. I will be posting a full review at some point on my TikTok and my Goodreads, which I'll link both of them down below. My Goodreads, I only leave reviews for arcs on Goodreads, mostly. It's mostly arc reviews on there. So if you're curious to see my final thoughts on Inamorata, make sure to check out those spaces because I will definitely be posting there. And if I end up reading a bunch of books in the month of March, then I will make a March wrap-up video for my YouTube channel, and I will make sure to go more in depth on Inamorata with that if I finish it. So the writing is a bit pretentious. Like, there is such a thing as too many metaphors, and I'm having the same problems with this book that I did with Juniper and Thorn, which is one of Ava Reed's other books, in that it's like almost too weird, where like you're just like feels like the author's trying too hard to make it weird. And I'm wondering if maybe I just prefer her young adult novels to the adult ones, because I really enjoyed A Study in Drowning. Like, I have my copy over there. I have 2 copies of it. I liked it so much. And I also really liked Fable for the End of the World. And Ava Reed's coming out with another dystopian YA novel at the end of this year, or like September of this year, that I'm really looking forward to. But I'm thinking maybe her adult novels just aren't for me. Also, the word creature is used to describe someone like every other page. Like, she was a strange creature. Like, every other page someone's being described as a creature. Like, we get it. This is a gothic like weird novel. And I've never heard the word quotidian before, and it's used at least once a chapter. Like, maybe it's just because I've never heard the word before. Now I'm like looking for it in the pages, but yeah, it's used a lot. Anyway, that's my thoughts so far. But again, I'm only 150 pages in. I'm sensing this is a slow burn of a book. So I'm just waiting to see if things get more fleshed out. And I did manage to get the audiobook from Penguin Random House Audio. Thank you so much for the gifted audiobook. So I think I'm going to start that now that my 24-hour reading challenge is over. I'm going to start on audio. So that is it. That is my 24-hour reading challenge. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope maybe you found some validation or some comfort in the fact that if you're a slow reader, you're not alone, because I am also a slow reader, at least with certain books. And I think we can clear out the timer. Oh my gosh, that felt illegal. Like, for a month I've been using this. Oh my gosh, I can finally tuck my iPad away back into the crevice I had it stashed in for the past few years. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really want to reach 1,000 subscribers this year. I think it's possible. I think it can happen. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.